Hi, welcome back to Marissa Explains It All, and today I'm doing a collection video showing you guys my Lorac eyeshadow palette collection. And I've done these videos in the past with Too Faced and one other brand, I think, but I'll just show you what I have here. So let's start with the first two that I have that were limited edition, and those are the Lorac Mega Pro palettes. The first one is this burgundy one here with kind of rubberized, and it gets lots of fingerprints and real dirty, as you can see. And then here are the shades inside. And I actually like these shades better than the Lorac Mega Pro 2, which I'll show you in a minute. I just really like that matte shade and that shade. I'm always drawn to warm shades, so I really like the neutrals, just the shade range I'm just happier with. The Lorac Mega Pro 2 looks like that, and you can see it has some cooler like purple and blue in it. So let me just show them side by side so you can see them compared. There is the 1 and the 2, and these were limited edition. I don't think they're available anymore, although there was some controversy when the first one was released. They screwed up and they made it like almost impossible to get. I honestly don't even know how I got my hands on this one. And then the Mega Pro 2, I think they learned their lesson and they released it for like weeks. It was available. So of course I thought I need to rush out and get it, but then in reality I didn't. And I'm actually wearing the Mega Pro 2 today, just like a kind of silver gray smoky look. But I do really like the way that they wear. I don't like necessarily the way they apply, though, the Lorac shadows. They're not my favorite formula, which is kind of hard to believe given the amount of makeup that I own by this company. But when you put your brush in, it dust powder everywhere, and there's always a ton of fallout, so you really have to stamp your brush off. And then when you stamp your brush off and go to put it on your eye, the color isn't as intense as you maybe would have liked it if you didn't stamp your brush. But then if you don't stamp your brush, it falls out all over your face and you have to dust it away. I really like the way they blend it out and the way that the final look looks. It's just putting them on, you have to work, I feel like I have to work a little bit harder. So there's on the formula, there's my little critique on the Lorac formula. Now, moving on, I'm going to go into some old ones here. These are the first Lorac palettes that I got, and this was actually a Christmas release. I want to say maybe like 2012 or something. I mean, it was like a long time ago, like 11 or 12. And it is these little like chocolate. And this is before the Too Faced chocolate bar palettes, but they came in a box, and I'll show you actually. So I kept the box because it's so pretty. It looks like this. I keep other things in it now. And looks like a box of chocolate. And then these were all like laid out in the box to look like chocolate bars. And so the packaging was really cute, and I got it at Nordstrom Rack, like really cheap, discounted after the holiday season the following year. And so I will just start with this one I have in my hand. Is called Tantalizing Cocoa, and it's a bronze shadow palette. And they're all shimmers, which in a palette I would like at least one matte shade, but they didn't provide that. Okay, and then this one is the Blackberry Truffle Seduction, and this one they all look pretty satiny. However, this black shade I think might be a matte. So this one you can see I haven't really even used that much. It's supposed to be I guess the darkest one in the bunch, so you can do like a smoky eye. And then this last shadow palette is from this this holiday collection, is called the Caramel Love Affair, and that's what it looks like there. And it has like a burgundy and then some other like gold shades, and these ones are also all shimmers. Then also it came with these in this holiday kit, but I don't know where they're at, or I don't have them anymore, is a gel liner little palette, and it came with a black, a brown, a purple, and a blue, like a really deep blue that looks pretty much black. And I did really like those. I'm sure I have it somewhere. I probably have it separate than my shadow palettes, but I did really like those cream gel liners. And then the other one was a lip palette, and I think I gave that one away or got rid of it because I just don't like lip palettes, but it's just not very convenient to take with you when it's in this type of packaging, and the colors were not that great, and I didn't really like the quality, and I don't even remember. I think it had a baby pink, a red, like a coral, and then maybe a nude. So I gave that away. So that was actually a really good deal, that holiday set that I got. That came in the really cute box I just showed you, and then it came with 4 eyeshadow palettes, a cream gel liner, and then also a lip palette. Actually, the lip palette, now that I remember, was a lip and cheek cream palette. So it was kind of a one-stop shop, and that was before all the companies were doing the crazy holiday releases. So I got a really good deal on that, like I said, at Nordstrom Rack. Moving on to this other little mini palette I have is the Lorac Pro To Go palette, and I actually mentioned this in products I regret buying, and I hate this palette. It's a little mini like pro palette, and the reason I don't like it is the colors are fine. It's, you know, you could totally create a full-on look. However, these last 2 shades are super glittery, so it's not like you can take those and just put them in your crease. They just didn't wear well. I've used this palette, and when I used it, it was the only eyeshadow palette that I ever was so dissatisfied with the way it looked. It was just a muddy mess. The colors didn't blend well. They didn't wear well. They didn't apply well, rather. I ended up taking off my makeup and redoing it, and that's the only time I think I've ever done that, at least in recent history, maybe back in the day. But anyway, I should probably give it another shot, because I can just see, just looking at it, you can see that it could create a super nice, you know, easy look with a highlight color, maybe a lid color or crease color, and then just a little bit pop of color, either purple or like this brown black color in the crease or as a liner. But my experience with it wasn't good. So moving on, the other Lorac palettes I have, of course, are the Lorac Pro palettes, just the regular Pro, not the Mega Pro, because as you can see, the Mega Pros, which I didn't address, they have 2 rows of matte and 2 rows of shimmer, and the Pro palettes have 1 matte row and then 1 shimmer row. So this is the first Pro palette, and there are a million reviews about this. This is like people's holy grail. They love it. It's a great palette. I love the colors. It's great for every day. I've been able to create some really nice looks with this. However, it has the same issue where the shadows are just really powdery, so they go everywhere and they go all over your face, which is annoying. You just have to work harder with them, and the end result is a nice look. But that is the Lorac Pro palette, and I think this is probably the first of the Lorac palettes that really hit it big and became a holy grail for so many people. And then they released the Lorac Pro 2, and it has this gray packaging, and that's what that one looks like. So a little bit more cooler toned. I'll compare it to the first one. So the first one's on top, the second one's on bottom. Just cooler toned, and I feel the same way about this Pro palette as I do about the other Lorac shadows. Really nice when you put it on, wears well. It just takes a little bit of work to apply them because of the powderiness of the shadows. Okay, and then these last Lorac palettes I have are the Unzipped palette, which I love, and the Unzipped Gold palette. The Unzipped palette looks like this, and it has a rosy gold theme running through it. So it has these 4 mattes. So these 4 are all mattes and the rest are all shimmers, and it's perfect for creating an everyday rosy type of look. I think this was probably competition for the Naked 3, which is a rose-toned palette, but I like this one all over the lid, and then any of these colors, these matte ones in the crease. I just really like it, and I feel like the quality or the formula of these is a little bit different, because as you can see, it's not as dirty and smeared as my other palettes. So I don't know if it has a different consistency or if it's just my imagination, but I do like these ones. They're less powdery, so I do like the ones in the Unzipped palette better than my other Lorac shadows. And then lastly, I have the Lorac Gold palette, which is essentially, it's the Unzipped Gold, and it's essentially the same layout, same formula as the Lorac Unzipped, the one I just showed you, but it has more gold tones. So I'll go ahead and show you a comparison of those two. So this is the more rosy, and then this is the more gold one. And these ones are intense. So like these gold shimmer shades here are pretty intense. Let me swatch them for you. So you can see they are not joking. I mean, look at that look at that one right there. That's just, and that's one swipe. You saw me do it on camera. They're just intense and beautiful. And I really like, again, the formula of these ones better than the other formulas. So those are all of my Lorac eyeshadow palettes. It's funny because Lorac is actually the first brand, high-end brand of eyeshadow I ever bought. I bought a single eyeshadow. I kind of got suckered because I was walking through Macy's and the girl at the counter snagged me, and I don't know how she got my attention, but I went over there and she showed me that you can use the shadows both wet and dry, which at the time I didn't realize you can do that with any eyeshadow. Now I know that, and I do that often. In fact, I did it today, but so she totally sold me on this. It was a single eyeshadow from Lorac, of just a pot, and I don't remember what the shade name was, but I do remember it was a like burgundy, really warm, shimmery shadow, similar to like this shade here. So just like a warm cranberry shade. And I used the crap out of that shadow. I think I used it up. I think I hit pan. I don't have it any longer. And that was when, this is way back when. This is probably in the 90s. Maybe early 2000s when Lorac wasn't as well known, and maybe it was just a startup. But anyways, that was Lorac is actually the first high-end shadow I ever owned. So it has a little soft spot in my heart because of that reason. And I do have some Lorac lip products, but you know, I can save that for another video. So if you like my video, go ahead and like and subscribe, and you'll see more from me later. Okay, thanks. Bye.